Welcome to FRCMedia News for Thursday, December 10th, 2020. I'm Keith Tebow. This week, Governor Baker announces a plan for the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. How will it work here in Fall River? As COVID cases continue to grow, the governor is calling for a rollback on some economic activity beginning on Sunday. The city is giving people a break for those who may have unpaid parking tickets, and United Neighbors of Greater Fall River is looking for donations for its Nurturing Fathers program. All that and more coming up. On Wednesday, Governor Baker announced that pending federal approval, the state will begin receiving COVID-19 vaccines for distribution as early as next week. And he outlined a projected timeline as to the priority of who will receive the vaccine and when.
The vaccine will be distributed in phases, starting with our highest risk and highest need individuals. Phase 1, in order of priority, is clinical and non-clinical healthcare workers doing direct and COVID-facing care. Long-term care facilities, rest homes, and assisted living facilities. Police, fire, and emergency medical services. Congregate care settings, including shelters and corrections. Home-based healthcare workers, and healthcare workers doing non-COVID facing care. Phase 2 focuses on workers in critical industries and individuals with one or more comorbidities. It then extends to a broader universe of adults that are over the age of 65 who are at a higher risk for COVID-19. During Phase 2, distribution will continue to all Phase 1 groups that I already mentioned. And specifically, in order of priority, Phase 2 is individuals with 2 or more comorbidities who obviously are at significant high risk for COVID-19 complications, workers in early education, K through 12, transit, grocery, utility, food and agriculture, sanitation, public works, and public health, adults that are over the age of 65, and individuals with one comorbidity. Additional shipments of vaccine doses are expected to arrive in Massachusetts throughout January, February, and March. We hope to begin to make the vaccine available to younger and healthier people later in the spring, with an approximate goal of starting in April.
The governor says the state will initially receive 60,000 doses next week, with a total of 300,000 by the end of the month. Stay up to date on the timeline of COVID vaccine distribution at mass.gov/COVID vaccine. The city of Fall River is getting set to receive whatever number of doses it expects once the distribution begins. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us local hospitals and city government are ready.
I got to believe they are ready. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So if I've never heard anything on the morning calls, we still do the calls with the hospitals that they were not prepared for vaccine distribution. So I think when the vaccine gets here, we will be off and running quickly. Well, in the building, for example, down in the Department of Public Health, I was down there last week, and they have freezers that they were testing the temperatures on to make sure they would comply with the vaccine if it comes into the building. I talked with the fire department, EMS, which is now doing our testing, and they believe they're ready to go. I'm not sure if it's going to be our local pharmacy companies like CVS and Walgreens that also get the first doses, but from what I've seen, I gotta believe we'll be ready to go when the vaccine gets here.
Cases of new COVID-19 infections continue to surge across the Commonwealth, and Governor Baker this week announced the state will scale back on some activities in an attempt to curb the spread beginning this weekend.
But with our hospital system straining to keep up with the sharp increase in severely ill patients, we have to do more. And effective this Sunday, the Commonwealth will move every community in Massachusetts back to Phase 3, Step 1. This will reduce indoor capacities across a broad range of sectors of the economy and tighten several other workplace restrictions. The move back to Step 1 will also require the closure of certain businesses that are designated as Step 2 industries. These include indoor performance venues and certain high-contact indoor recreational businesses. In addition to closing the indoor recreational businesses in Phase 3, Step 2, We're also reducing capacity limits to 40% statewide for pretty much everything else. This includes gyms, libraries, museums, retail, offices, places of worship, movie theaters, lodging, and more sectors. The rollback to step one will also automatically reduce the maximum size for outdoor gatherings from 100 people to 50 across all communities. These new measures are designed to do three things. Number one, prevent infection and viral spread, especially in indoor settings. Number two, to create stronger mask compliance, more social distancing, and limits on the time spent with people outside of your immediate household. And step three, to reduce mobility.
Yesterday, Fall River hit another record of new daily COVID cases reported at 185. Mayor Coogan says he may consider some additional restrictions, including some for local restaurants and making appointments mandatory for those conducting business at Government Center, although nothing has yet been set. He also says a decision may be made at the next school committee meeting as to whether a large majority of students will continue to learn remotely when classes return from Christmas break on January 4th. All in all, the mayor says people need to remain vigilant.
The decisions people are making now personally are what's driving the disease. If people would just be conscientious for the next couple of weeks with their personal decisions, whether it's ordinarily you go out with a group of your friends or you go bombing in to see somebody and you don't have a mask on, put the mask on. We're talking a few weeks here. We're in a real surge. I was reading an article this morning that they called it a viral tsunami. We're asking people to step up and help us get through the next month here. It's going to be very, very trying as we roll from our Thanksgiving numbers to our Christmas numbers to our New Year's numbers. And unless people radically alter the way they carry themselves, we're going to be in this tsunami for a little while here.
Through a partnership among city government, local nonprofits, and faith-based organizations, Fall River now has a permanent overflow homeless shelter just as the city enters the winter season. The shelter is located at the Timau Center at Solomon's Porch Church on Bay Street. It will work with the First Step Inn at Stepping Stone Incorporated to handle the increase in serving the homeless that comes with the colder winter months. The First Step Inn has had its capacity reduced due to COVID-19 from 50 to 35 beds. The Overflow Shelter will provide accommodations for 10 female and 20 male clients. The Overflow Shelter will initially operate for the next 18 months, but can also be made available anytime during the year if the need arises. Rosa Medeiros of Stepping Stone says the addition of homeless beds is sorely needed.
Together, we're going to be able to make a difference in this community. Not only do we have a shelter that's got a lot of capacity year-round, but we also have a permanent home for the overflow. It was so challenging every year for Tom and his wife and the congregation and for all the churches in this community. It was so challenging to just group it together, get enough volunteers. This is such a big thing. And now having the outreach to be able to go out there, meet those guys, bring them in, get them to treatment, get them to, to a place, a warm place, a place where they can eat, a place where they can worship, a place where they can rest and heal and maybe get a home. So we're really excited. We have a van ready to go. We have two wonderful people that have passion, and I can't even express the excitement because we now have a lot of tools that we didn't in the past. So we're going to be able to have a great impact on the homeless population in this community, and it will be a community that gets it done together. Thank you.
Funding for the project was provided from local private donations as well as money from the city's Community Development Agency. It was simultaneously announced that Fall River Police will be working as part of a new COVID-19 street outreach program, utilizing city and Stepping Stone personnel in identifying those who are homeless and finding the support and shelter they need. Fall River Police Chief Jeffrey Cardoza says working with experts in the field will allow officers to better identify those who need assistance.
Like every other law enforcement agency in this country, we realize, the officers on the street realize that we don't often have the expertise or the capabilities to deal with some of the issues in the city. So this was a way for us to get a better understanding and work in partnership with somebody who has that expertise and to better address not only homelessness, but those people that are struggling with, drug addiction. It's extremely important to us. So I'm extremely confident that by doing this, we'll be better able to serve those types of populations. And I think the next step, and the mayor and I have had some conversations about it, is I'd like to get some folks in the building working with us, partnering with us, being embedded in our building that have expertise in dealing with mental health issues as well.
Congressman Joseph Kennedy, whose 4th congressional district includes the north end of Fall River, gave his final speech on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives yesterday. Congressman Kennedy is leaving the chamber in January after running unsuccessfully against incumbent U.S. Senator Edward Markey. During his floor speech, the congressman talked about the awe of holding the position and thanked all of those who supported his work, including those from Fall River.
Seeing my name on that office door for the first time. Keeping company with giants that I grew up idolizing, like John Lewis, Eliseo Medina, and Dolores Huerta. Having the honor of responding to Donald Trump's first State of the Union from Diamond Voc Tech in mighty Fall River, Massachusetts. To my constituents back home, I am so grateful for the trust that you put in me. My proudest moments were when you allowed me to bring your voice to this chamber, when I could carry what you felt in Taunton or Attleboro or Fall River or Milford to this floor. Thank you for the privilege that you afforded me. I'll see you back home soon.
The state legislature last week passed a $46 billion FY 2021 state budget. The delayed spending plan reflects impacts caused by COVID-19, but still provides sustained funding for the city of Fall River. State Senator Michael Rodrigues, who serves as chair of the Senate Ways and Means Committee, says the state budget does not rely on any broad-based tax increases and, in general, level funds many state services. Because of his role in Senate leadership, he says communities like Fall River have been able to benefit despite limitations caused by the pandemic.
First of all, the big number, Chapter 70, education funding. We not only level funded Chapter 70, but we increased it by $108 million for an inflation factor. So Fall River got significant more dollars than last year in Chapter 70. Their school department's very happy. Something called UGA, or Unrestricted General Government Aid, is a check, is money that the state government sends down to our local government, the city of Fall River City Council and Mayor, for them to spend on their general government responsibilities. That was level funded for FY 20. I want to say I have it here somewhere, but probably in the tune of about $23 million. Then in addition to that, one of probably the most important program that I created and I established 9 years ago, and I've been pushing since then, was something called public safety staffing grants, monies that come directly to Fall River to help support our police and our fire personnel. That was fully funded in this budget. And Fall River's gotten over $7 million, received over $7 million since I created this fund in public safety grants. So I can tell you that both our police and fire chiefs are very, very relieved that money was included in the budget.
Governor Baker still needs to either approve the spending plan or offer line item vetoes. The legislature will begin work next week on the fiscal 2022 budget, which many say may be more difficult to construct than this year. Senator Rodrigues hopes the spending plan for FY 2022 will be in place before it is enacted on July 1st. We have an update now on the federal extortion and corruption case of former Fall River Mayor Jazio Correa. and his former Chief of Staff, Genevieve Andrade. This week, Ms. Andrade asked for a hearing before federal judge Douglas Woodlock in an attempt to change her not guilty plea. A pre-trial hearing set for this week has been canceled. For now, a trial date is still set for early February. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Maintenance worker, Cheryl Darnborough Real Estate Agency, located at 215 Bank Street, is looking for a full-time maintenance worker responsible for maintenance duties, painting, and grounds cleaning in the Fall River and New Bedford area. Job number 142945152. Psychologist. The Fernandes Center for Children and Families at St. Anne's Hospital, located at 222 Milliken Boulevard, is in need of a full-time psychologist to conduct clinical diagnostic interviews, develop and implement treatment plans for children and adolescents with a variety of issues. Job number 143-06751. Switchboard operator receptionist. Truesdale Health, located at 1030 President Avenue, is seeking a part-time switchboard operator receptionist to greet and direct patients and visitors in person and forward incoming calls. Job number 143-03762. Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Graphic Design Intern, job number 142-95402. Quality Assurance Tech, job number 143-04686. Boston Market, located at 30 12th Street, also is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Cashier Restaurant Team Member, job number 142-89132. General Manager, job number 142-89344. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Do you have an unpaid parking ticket here in Fall River? Well, now is the time to pay without facing any late fees, thanks to the city's annual parking ticket amnesty program. Here's more from our colleagues at Fall River Government Television.
'Tis the season of giving. Now through January 8th, the Fall River Traffic Department is giving you a break with the annual ticket amnesty program. There are two ways to pay off outstanding parking tickets and wipe out late fees. Pay in person with cash, money order, or credit card. No appointment is necessary. Late fees will be waived, but drivers are still responsible for the balance of the ticket. For contactless payment via money order, call 508-324-2577 and have your plate number handy. A secure drop box is available at the 3rd Street entrance to Government Center. No personal checks will be accepted. Director of Traffic and Parking Laura Ferreira reminds everyone that having unpaid parking tickets will prevent you from renewing your driver's license and vehicle registration. Take advantage of this holiday gift from the Fall River Traffic Department.
Food insecurity is still a problem for many here in Fall River who have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. The holiday season puts an added spotlight on families looking to keep food on their table. Crystal Arpa at Citizens for Citizens says their 3 times a week food pantry remains as essential a service as ever.
Our food pantry has gone a little crazy lately. I've been here for 16 years. I've never seen it so busy. We went from doing 500 families a month to over 800 families a month. It is much needed. We have a community of people not working part-time, no longer getting unemployment, so they can come here, get food once every 30 days. We try to give at least 3 weeks worth of food out. We give out fresh fruits and vegetables as much as we can. We give out meats as much as we can. It is a great need, and it is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 12. And all you really need to do is show up with a piece of mail that has your name and address on it to show you live in our service area.
The Nurturing Fathers program from United Neighbors of Fall River is seeking donations to help fathers provide gifts for their children this holiday season. Our Denise Pumagwaye has the story.
We run the Nurturing Fathers program, which is a 15-week evidence-based program for dads who are looking to gain more custody of their kids or want to become better dads. For about 8 years now, we have taken the children of these dads, of the dads that are involved in our program, and we've been able to get people to sponsor them for the holidays so that every one of our families can have a wonderful holiday. Because of the pandemic, this year we're going to be doing a gift card drive. So we're asking people who would like to help support our fathers and their children to contact me at wendy@unfr.org, or you can call 508-951-8421. You can either take a family and participate for the entire family, all the siblings, or you can make a donation that fits with your budget. Our goal is to give every one of the 21 dads that we have in our program a gift card for a Fall River supermarket so that they can buy a holiday dinner, and then a gift card for each of their children from a store that's either in Fall River or available online. You know, this year more than ever, our kids need some sense of normalcy. So the best that we can do at this point in time to keep our donors safe and our recipients safe is to do it via gift cards. So we hope you'll open your hearts and support our fathers.
And what's the cutoff date for donors to help out with this program?
So we want the cards to come to us no later than December 16th. And if you contact me, we'll give you the address of where you can mail them or how we can pick them up. You can drop them off and we can figure that out as well. And we are going to be mailing the cards to the dads. So we really have a tight timeline on that. We want them to go into the mail on December 17th. It's incredible how many donors we have and how many wonderful people reach out. One of the nicest things I read was a thank you note from one of our donors who said that every year her children participate in the buying. And for them, it has been a holiday tradition for them to learn that the holiday is not just about receiving, but also making sure that somebody else gets what they need to.
And that's amazing. That's the true spirit of the holidays.
After a 1-week delay, Santa's Jolly Ride motorcade is slated to take place this weekend. There is rain in the forecast, and the parade may be moved from Saturday to Sunday. Check out the city's website for the latest information. Now, the motorcade will begin at Government Center and will take the following 14-mile route across Fall River. The parade begins east on Sullivan Drive and then will proceed east on Pleasant Street. The parade will head up Pleasant Street, eventually taking a right onto Eastern Avenue and then merging onto Brayton Avenue. The parade will continue onto Brayton Avenue at the end and then take a left onto Stafford Road. After Stafford Road, the parade will take a right onto Tucker Street and then a right onto Rhode Island Avenue. The parade will continue to Globe Street, where it will take a left onto Globe and continue to Globe Four Corners. At that point, the parade will take a left onto South Main Street. The parade will continue south onto South Main Street to Shove Street, where all vehicles will make a U-turn and then head north back on South Main Street toward downtown. As the parade hits Government Center, it will take a right once again onto Sullivan Drive, merge onto Pleasant Street, then take a left onto 13th Street. The parade will then merge onto Robeson Street, continue on Robeson until it hits Highland Avenue at St. Patrick's Cemetery, and then will head south on Highland Avenue. The parade will continue on Highland Avenue, then turn right onto Maple Street, then we'll take a left-hand turn south onto Rock Street. The parade will continue onto Rock Street, then right onto Bedford Street, and finally finish once again at Government Center. If you're unable to watch the motorcade in person, you can follow along on our sister station, Fall River Government Television, Channel 18. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Today with us we have Baby. He is 12 and a half years old. He was an owner surrender. He is a very sweet cat. He likes to tell little stories. He does have the sweetest little voice. He definitely would make a good companion. He is a gentle little man. He would do fine with kids. He would do good in any kind of a home, whether if it was quiet, if it was a busy household. He's very easygoing. He loves all people. He's not picky when it comes to food. So come down and meet Baby. I know he'd love to meet you. We're at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Melvin. He is neither a cat or a dog. So at the shelter, a lot of times we do get rabbits, guinea pigs, and birds. We do get a lot of small animals. So we have Melvin. He is an albino New Zealand rabbit. He is a male. He's not neutered. We have him aged about about a year old. He doesn't mind being picked up and being handled. So come down and meet Melvin. I know he'd like to meet you. We are located at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. One programming note, please join us this Wednesday, December 16th at 5:30 p.m. on Channel 95 and on our FRC Media Facebook page for our annual visit with Santa Claus as part of our North Pole Live telecast. Kids can speak to Santa via Zoom. You can find out more by visiting frmedia.org/Santa. We also want to thank the One South Coast Chamber for partnering with us on this year's telecast. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Please enjoy Santa's Jolly Ride this weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.